Will you be fighting more than one battle in an SHTF situation? Let's talk about that. What's going on, and welcome back to the Bristol Prepper channel. So today, guys, we were talking about something that's not often talked about. I think it's quite a touchy subject. Everyone's a little bit I don't know, either avoids it or just doesn't talk about it. And today we're talking about addiction. Everybody's addiction. Lots and lots of people are addicted to something, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today and how that would affect us in a SHTF situation. Any survival situation, whether it be short term, and in the short term I mean by a week or maybe a month. How would that affect you mentally and physically? Covering a whole range of different addictions. Somebody could be addicted to soft drinks and food. If you're a bigger person and you have an addiction to food and soft drinks, like Coke and chocolate and all that sort of stuff and food. That's a really popular one. Lots of people are addicted to food. Some of the bigger people and struggle with it. It's a real addiction and it's a real issue. It's not just they're fat and they want to eat. Lots of them are addicted to it and have lots of reasons behind why they eat and stuff like that. So that will be a huge one in an SHTF or survival situation. Because it's not just if they don't eat it they'll get skinny. If they don't eat it, they'll have like withdrawal symptoms and shit like that. Obviously their moods will change and their mindset will change, and they won't be able to think clearly. Because obviously it's not got what their body thinks to be normal. Do you know what I mean? So you wouldn't be thinking in the right mind, because obviously you're thinking about something else and thinking about what you need and what you would love to have. Food and drinks is one of them. Nicotine. So I don't smoke anymore. I used to smoke, but I now on a vaporizer. So I'm not addicted to so many chemicals, but I'm still addicted to nicotine. Because obviously I have low amounts of nicotine in that, but I am still at the end of the day addicted to nicotine. I need it. I don't need it, but my personality and my how do you explain it? Like, I would change from what I would normally be to something else if I didn't get it. Obviously I'd become a little bit more grouchy. I'd become a little bit more snappy, stuff like that. And I think overall it would affect my ability to think clearly, and not to think clearly, but think with to think to my optimum level. And my brain will work into its optimum, and for me to survive and be able to think the best and think the quickest, and in any survival situation, I think I'd need nicotine. I think it would affect me if I didn't have it. So I wouldn't be 100% on the job. I'd be thinking, God, I need a fag, or God, I need a drag, or whatever. And these are the harsh realities we've got to come to terms with. Like, I don't know. I'd hate to think of what the percentage of the world is addicted to. Addiction, any substance, or imagine what the rating is. I take a wild guess. I reckon it must be around 70% of the whole population is addicted to something. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, food, soft drinks, anything like that. I think that anything's addictive if you take it long enough, and if you're in that habit, and you're taking it and shit, it often becomes addictive. Especially if you have addictive personality. Some people have addictive personalities. And I know this because my grandfather, he smoked all his life until now, and he's in his mid-60s now, and he quit smoking. And the Bristol University, I think it's Bristol University, or some sort of, that sort of a thing, all these clever people there and shit like that, and the hospital and stuff, they want to take him in and do some tests on him because he quit smoking, or tried to quit smoking. He's done really well, he's still quit moving, and do tests on him to test, and they're doing a study on people with addictive personalities. It's been shown that some people have a lot more addictive personalities than others. Some people can smoke 20 years, put it down, put the fag down, and never pick one up again for the rest of their life. But some people can't put it down, and that's the same with the bottle, with drink and stuff like that. Some people have more addictive personalities, and I think this would be a game changer in SHTF. If you didn't have a fag, you wouldn't be able to think properly. If you've been used to smoking a pack a day or a pack and a half a day, and then you got none, because you've run out, then I think drastically change you. You'd be pissy, you'd be snappy, biting at everybody, you know. You wouldn't be a great person to be around, you know, and you obviously wouldn't be thinking clearly on how to survive and stuff like that, because you'd be thinking, I'd love a fag or whatever. Some people wouldn't like to think that they'd be able to fight it, and it wouldn't affect them. They could just put it down and it'd be fine. Some people might be able to do that, but I think lots and lots of people, like 99% of people, will obviously, they will have some sort of effect in a survival situation from coming away from their addiction. Drink's another one to look at. You know, drink's very has huge effects. I think that's. I think personally, I've seen a lot of damage within my family and within people around me. That alcohol does a way more damage than smoking ever has. I think alcohol fuels a state of mind which is obviously very bad in some situations, and alcohol obviously can fuel terrible situations. But yeah, so, and I think alcohol would be a big one. You know, if somebody's used to drinking bottle after bottle of vodka a day, and then they go to an SHTF situation, they pretty much collapse, you know. And that's, I think alcohol is worse than the drawbacks and when you go cold turkey on alcohol compared to fags. I think that would be a lot worse. You know, the alcohol drawbacks are a lot worse. I know I've seen it firsthand, how bad the people get and what they do for a drink, you know. It's crazy, but these things are all things to take into consideration. I don't think they're often talked about. I think it's quite a taboo subject, you know. Because everybody's addicted to something. Don't get me wrong, I do drink. I drink, my poison is Jack Daniels most of the time. I love whiskey, but I'm not alcoholic or nothing. I like a drink, but it wouldn't affect me if I never had to drink again, you know. It wouldn't ever affect me. It wouldn't bother me. Well, it would bother me. I would like to have a drink, but do you know what I mean? I'm not an alcoholic, so I'm not dependent upon it. The only thing I'm dependent on is nicotine and possibly caffeine. You know, I drink a lot of tea and coffee, but I don't think the effects of that would be huge compared to other things, you know, like alcohol and drugs, you know, like hardcore drugs, like obviously like cannabis. And cannabis is not addictive itself, I don't think. I think it's just tobacco and cannabis. And then the reason people say they're addicted to cannabis or whatever, it's not they're addicted, they like the effects of it and they like going back to it. It just doesn't have any addictive chemicals in it. It's just like one of those drugs, you like it so you keep going back, you know. It becomes more of a habit than an addiction, you know. Unlike stuff like heroin, crack cocaine, cocaine, stuff like that, obviously they have addictive substances and qualities to them, obviously, which makes them so hardcore, you know. People keep going back to them and take them on a more regular basis. And if somebody like that, a heroin user, or somebody takes that sort of a drug, you know, come off that, and obviously had to come off it because the SHTF, their drug dealer's been killed or he's running away or doing whatever, they're fucked, and they're fucked. Because the drawbacks from heroin and the hardcore drugs, it's another step up again. From the alcohol, it's another step up, you know. Shit gets crazy when they go cold turkey off stuff like that. It's dangerous, you know. They can die, they can go into all sorts of problems when they go cold turkey. And if they don't die, and if it's more mild, then they still are in a right state, you know. If you do some research on the internet, you can see it. I've never seen heroin drawbacks firsthand, but I've researched it and seen it as well on telly and stuff like that, and documentaries on it. And the drawbacks from heroin and all the big style drugs is incredible, you know. It's scary how bad that would be. And there's no way you'd be able to think or work properly in a survival situation if you're addicted to any hardcore drugs. But I am 99% sure, 0.9% sure that none of my people who's ever watched my channel are addicted to any hardcore drugs. I'm pretty sure of that. Because you guys are just so intellectual that you don't think you'd do that. But yeah, anyway, I think addiction as a whole is quite a scary thing, you know, because for you to depend on something and you're addicted to that, it's quite scary, you know, because obviously if a point came where you didn't have it, like an SHTF situation, survival situation, obviously it would affect your mental state drastically, I think. Obviously depends on your addiction depends on the severity of how bad your drawbacks will be, you know. Obviously cigarettes will be a lot less than if you were alcohol or maybe drugs or something like that, you know. It would be the drawbacks would be a lot less if you did that. But don't get me wrong, it'll still be hard without cigarettes if you were addicted to cigarettes, nicotine. yeah, I think it's crazy, and I don't think it's often talked about, and I think it's really something we could talk about and really get out there, you know, and tell each other our thoughts, you know, help each other out. So if any of you smokers out there that have quit recently and you want to help anybody else down below that are maybe smokers, please don't be afraid, and please help each other out down there and help each other out. The best way I quit smoking, the easiest way, is with the vaporizer. You know, you don't have to get one this big. I like doing it, so I got a bigger one, better one. But you don't have to do that. You can just stick with a normal basic vape pen, like I did in my earlier videos. You would have seen it then. But yeah, guys, so hopefully you've enjoyed this today, and enjoyed me just talking about a little bit about addiction and how it affects an SHTF. I personally think it would drastically affect things. If you're addicted to a substance, it would alter your mindset and wouldn't give you your optimum level of intellectual ability to think in a situation, you know, and think on your toes and stuff like that. You wouldn't be to your optimum level. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little chat with me. I know I've gone on a bit. I rant on, but you know what I'm like, guys. I do keep on a bit. Hopefully you enjoyed it though. If you have, please like, share, comment and subscribe to this video, because it massively helps my channel, and I appreciate every one of you beautiful people. If you've got 5 minutes, guys, and you want to spare them with me, please go in the description. You can check out the link for Facebook, and also the new link for Twitter, which was just set up for the Bristol Prepper channel. So if you want to be involved in that, go on Twitter. I think we've only got like 18 followers at the moment. So if you want to be the 19th follower and you want to get in there first, go on the Twitter and check that out. And also be aware that on there soon on Twitter we will be doing an exclusive Twitter giveaway. So if you haven't got Twitter, go and get Twitter, follow me on Twitter, and then you will be in for a chance to win when we do the giveaway. Don't worry, I'll let you guys all know about the Twitter giveaway when it comes up. Like I said, that's all I've got time for today, guys. So as always, stay prepared, and I'll catch you guys another day, another way.